When he salutes the flag salutes back. When he questions the outcome of an election, the DOJ indicts itself. When he sneezes, people say, "God bless America." Cuba imports cigars from him. He is the most patriotic man in America.
I don't always smoke cigars, but when I do, I smoke Patriots. Stay MAGA, my friends.
My favorite. Can I get one of those?
No, Bill. We all know what you like to do with cigars. Patriot Cigars, a premium smoke for freedom-loving patriots.
The Patriot Cigar Company's story started with Alan Jacoby's love of cigars and love of America. There's no better way to celebrate the freedoms we cherish than smoking a premium Patriot cigar. Whether it's TNTs, Moabs, Hellfires, or Mark 48 torpedoes, all Patriot cigars are handmade and blended with 100% long filler premium Nicaraguan tobacco to bring you the smoothest smoking experience imaginable. Patriot cigars are enjoyed by many of MAGA's finest. Do yourselves a favor and order some today. God bless America, and God bless Patriot Cigars.
Hello and welcome to Conversations at the Dinner Table. I'm John. I got Brian, and we have a special guest today. We got Shasta Ray.
Hello.
So that was our sponsor. If you haven't checked them out yet, that is My Patriot Cigars. It's run by all of our friends, Alan Jacoby. And if you haven't checked out his morning show yet, it airs at 8 a.m. every morning to 11. And go check that out because it's a really good show. You'll love every second of it. And you just get raw, good footage. It's just a really good show. So go check that out. Support him. If you don't mind, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Send me $5 a month so I can pay Brian. And go check out My Patriot Cigars, where you can get a wonderful sample pack if you haven't checked them out yet. They've got the Hellfire, the TNT, the Mark 48, the Moab, and the Sidewinder. If you don't like smoking cigars, they have this wonderful coffee here. I love this stuff. This bag's about to go because I need more. I have a lot of a lot of noise in my background right now. It's because it is pouring down rain here. And also we are being rated by the McGroin Nation. So
thank you, McGroins.
So check out My Patriot Cigars. Let me get that up on the screen here. It's going to take me 3 seconds. Because
I already put the link up there for you, Jonathan. And
you did.
Also, if you want to get some cool MAGA merch, like this cool shirt, nice and light, soft, visit his new MAGA merch store. I put that link up and use promo code MAGA for 10% off. And he's even got MAGA Babe shirts, man.
Heck you mean the women's, the tanks?
The women tank tops.
Yes, the MAGA Mama. Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. Love
and
it.
Also, these shirts are freaking comfortable.
They are.
Just saying.
I have one. They are.
Just saying. I had to get another one because my wife stole one of mine. So. But anywho, let me. Why is this doing? Anyway, I can't get the screen up. I've got it. Oh no, it's right there. Transition. There we go. My Patriot Cigars. Go to shop. Walk you through this real quick, just in case you give me the.
And if you don't like coffee and you don't like cigars, you can also order.
Hey, you can get a cigar for Stogie. Or
cigars
for service members. Let me get that.
Service members.
So, but yeah, no. Support a local good Patriot company. You got some new hats on here. But anywho, yeah, if you know somebody who likes cigars, you can buy them a gift card, send them the e-gift card. So yeah. Anywho, so we have Shasta. Brian, you want to introduce her?
Hi, Shasta.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Hey, everybody. Shasta is the Vice President of Citizens Interest. It's a bipartisan nonprofit organization that's dedicated to the preservation of citizens' rights. Here's some really cool background on her. She's a welder, a woodworker, a do-it-yourselfer, a mom, and a wife.
That would be me.
She works for Citizens Interest as a vice president, and their mission is to ensure proper public transparency and oversight. They force transparency for initiatives between the federal government and private equity. And Shasta here specializes in the healthcare side of that.
Yes.
And so we asked her today to come on our show and kind of give us a rundown of what we would be looking for if, unfortunately, we get a Harris Waltz administration, and what a disaster a single payer healthcare system will look like. Because right now she fights against the Affordable Care Act, the abuse of the what we call the HIPAA laws in the medical industry, which is the privacy. So, Shasta, what's going on? What can we look forward to if they steal another election?
Before we get into that, Shasta, I have one
Yeah.
question for you. What is
Sure.
the most awkward, memorable conversation you've ever had at a dinner table?
On the spot.
Oh, the most awkward. Now, would this be a conversation between my husband and I, or would this be
That
like
can be
extended
anything.
family,
Can be
friends?
Anything.
Anything. Well, most memorable, the one that maybe fired you up the most.
Gosh, you know what? I literally cannot think of one. I cannot think of one.
Well, if
There's
you come up
gotta
with
be
one,
if
one.
I
we'll
were to
get it
try
at the
to
end of the show.
guess, if I were to try to guess, I would guess that it was probably when my 3 kids were little and we were out in public. Oh, I know. He's gonna kill me.
There we go.
He's gonna kill me. So my husband at the time, my first husband and I, and our little boys, we are at Baker Square. This is where my 3rd one was born. And I'm not going to single out which son it was, but one of my sons, we weren't paying attention, and we were up in the lobby and we were paying, and he decided it would be a good idea to pull the fire alarm.
Oh,
So while that wasn't a dinner time conversation, I felt this big because that was my place of employment. That is how
Oh no.
Oh yeah, no.
it was too much.
I imagine you talked about that for a while. Yeah. Holy cow. That's
Oh
fun.
my gosh. Oh my
So-
gosh. Yeah. So that would be my story.
So let's for the people that don't know who you are,
Yeah.
go ahead and introduce yourself. Let them know where and how they can follow you. And if you give me a link, I can set it up in the bottom in our chat and in the
Oh,
display
sure.
of how people can find you.
So our website, my best friend and partner in crime, Lauren DeLuca, she's the president of Citizens Interest. She founded the organization a year before I joined her. We can be found at www.citizensinterest.org. And I don't know if you want me to like try to send that to you, or
I'm
if
getting
you
it
can
up
just
right
do
now.
it. That's our website. It's under construction. Lauren and I basically do everything ourselves. So we're working on the website. You can find me on X at Shasta_Rain. And we've got our YouTube channel. We've got a lot of our socials connected to our website. That's how you find us.
Just so you know, she posted it in the chat for you. She's listening today. Say
Oh, yeah,
hi.
right there.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
And
So
I'm
in-
terrible with it. Why did virtual sharing stop? Why did it do that?
There we go.
What was her name again? So we can.
My partner's name is Lauren DeLuca.
Hi, Lauren DeLuca.
Hi, Lauren.
Thanks for coming into the chat.
Hey, girl. There she is. So our work, it has evolved over time. You can tell from looking at our website that, you know, we are very big on the transparency, the oversight, because what we found after all these years of working together is that we have a real issue with the public-private partnerships and how they interact with what's happening in our healthcare policy. Under a Harris administration, I went ahead and I decided to look this up because I didn't want to base this off of my opinion. I found a Federalist article here where she back in 2019, and currently, as of a couple weeks ago, they republished another article talking about what her plan would look like. And this is a Medicare for all plan. And what was interesting was that she co-sponsored legislation that would have eliminated Medicare. So I have these links and I can post them if you guys are interested in looking at this. The problem with Medicare for all, the problem with moving toward this healthcare for all system is that is where we get into the concern about rationing care. It is not an unlimited wealth of service that can be provided. We only have so many doctors, so many people. And that creates kind of a problem, you know. Our work, when we really discovered all of the healthcare policies that were shaping what is happening today in healthcare, a lot of this stuff was first, I don't want to use the word concocted, but was first put together back in the late 90s and early thousands, where they realized they were going to have a very large population of people aging into retirement, the baby boomers. And it was, oh my gosh, how are we going to pay for all this? Our healthcare expenditures are really, really super high. So in order to remedy that, Congress being they, went to the National Academy of Medicine, which is at the National Academy of Sciences. They are what I like to refer to as the academic elite. Or, you know, we can get cute and call them the academic swamp, but it's, you know, it is a bunch of elitist individuals that are Congress wants their opinion. You know, our lawmakers cannot be specialists or know everything about every single subject across the board. They have to defer to the experts. In the case of healthcare, though, what we see that particular individuals that are very tight-knit end up in these positions, and we don't even know how, like, who elects these people. We don't elect them. We, the people, are being affected by the decisions that they make, and we really have no say. So they get together and they have their roundtable discussions. They come up with their expert consensus, and that is what informed the writing of the ACA. They built the framework for the Affordable Care Act when that was written. So all of this stuff that we see now in healthcare, the time to fight it was 25, maybe even 30 years ago. So the problem is we are here today. And what are we going to do about it? Well, the first thing we need to do about it is we need to educate ourselves on the policies and keep paying attention to what's happening in Congress with our lawmakers so that we can try to roll back or adjust some of the harmful things that are happening. And that's where Lauren and I come in. We are the representatives of you, all of us, the citizens, and our needs in healthcare, because what's happening right now, our needs are not going to be met.
So is it too late for the ACA to be rolled back? I mean, completely wiped out? Like,
I don't
when McCain
know.
went like this, are we screwed?
Yeah. I think it would be wrong of me to even try to answer that, because I don't think, unless I had a crystal ball, I couldn't tell you. And so I'm the kind of person that is operating from, this is what we have to work with. And when I speak for myself, I speak for Lauren, because her and I are lockstep. This is what we have to work with.
It's so intertwined into the system now.
Intertwined. It is intertwined into every aspect of our life through DEI, ESG policy, through surveillance capitalism, through the biotechnology and pharma industry. It is completely intertwined. And where I really see this going,
if it was completely wiped out, it would just upheaval everything, right?
Everything would fall apart. I mean, they have built clinical trials into the delivery of healthcare system. So let's take an example. And you guys feel free to stop me at any time.
Keep going.
Okay?
And
if I'm not making sense, I want you to stop me, because I want to make sure that I'm I know this subject like the back of my hand,
That-
and I
that's
don't,
fine.
I
So,
don't,
Real
know.
quick, if anybody has any questions, well, Shasta's talking. Feel free to put them in the chat, and we will
Please do.
we'll answer them as they come. All right. All right. Go ahead.
and my partner also, Lauren's in the chat under
Yes,
Citizens
she is.
Interest, and she's
Lauren, you are more than welcome to put any link in the chat as you please to provide
Thank
more
you.
information on top of this.
Thank
Yes.
you. So
I promise the
gosh.
moderator won't throw you off because that's me.
So the whole structure as we sit right now, which will be fully implemented by the year 2030 within the public-private partnership. And actually, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to get my graphic up here that's on my website or our website. Sorry, Lauren. She knows I have a real
I
problem.
can pull it up as well. What's it under?
It's under our work. And when you hover over our work, you're going to get just an incredible drop down. Don't pay attention to the drop down. Just click our work.
Okay.
And then scroll down and you're going to see a circle
Yep.
that says the public. This is what our healthcare system right now with the public-private partnership, how it works. We've got the lobbyists, we've got legislators, government agencies, grants, academic institutions, finance, private industry, and the NGOs, which is your nonprofits. All of this is a symbiote. As you guys have watched Dan Bongino, he calls it the symbiote. This is the symbiote. This is an interworking part that is, creating the policy and the changes that we are seeing today. And a lot of it is not on the up and up that Lauren and I are finding. This framework needs oversight. We have people overseeing themselves. We have to date, and nobody knows about it, that they've embedded clinical trials into the healthcare delivery system. This is affecting the disabled. This is affecting the elderly. It is affecting people that what we have are either dual eligible. So you're either on Medicare, Medicaid, or Medi-Cal if you're in California, or if you have multiple chronic conditions. They need to study you to build this system, to fill it with the data that it needs so that they can accumulate enough for the algorithms, because the algorithms are going to start dictating your care. It's going to start dictating what your doctor does for you. This is no longer Shasta goes to the doctor, Shasta, stubbed her toe and the doctor's going to make a diagnosis. No. This is Shasta goes to the doctor. The computer is going to analyze what we call social determinants of health. And I'll get into that in a minute. It's going to analyze all these little metrics about me, most of which have nothing to do with the physical problem that I have, to address the issue.
Shasta, real quick. So what you're telling me, and I know if you watch Dan Bongino, he refers to this a lot, but this sounds like it's coming straight out of 1984. George R. Orwell, 1984.
Yes.
It's got that kind of vibe. It
really does. And it matches. I just recently, did you know you can get the Communist Manifesto for free on Audible? For free.
No,
they don't charge you for
I didn't.
it. Yeah, it's for free.
I didn't. I'll have to check
didn't
that
know
out.
that. I found that out
So-
because I wanted to educate myself.
When you say they're feeding data, are they going to run healthcare via AI?
Oh, absolutely. This is what we call the Precision Medicine Initiative. This was passed when they did the Cures Act. So this came after the ACA, but the ACA created the framework so the computers could talk to each other, so that we would have the electronic medical record. And
Oh
a
my
whole heck
God.
of a lot more. So
So are you telling me that as a diabetic, four blown discs,
yes,
neuropathy,
yes.
PTSD, if I get cancer, the computer's going to spit out and go, sorry, Brian.
Predictive medicine. I like
It is
how she
using
put it. Predictive medicine.
analytics. And Brian, I would never, ever want to say something like that to you, but I can tell you that you have most certainly been profiled, and that they are going to look at the quality of life years adjusted and they're going to make a determination. And that is where we're going. And that's why this data and what they call the learning healthcare system has been built, because we have to minimize cost. Minimizing cost. And the framework for this was written in a paper. I mean, I've read, I cannot even tell you guys how many hundreds of pages I've read, and I've got it all flowing through my brain. But they needed to do something because everybody costs too much. So we are no longer going to treat the patient that's before the doctor. We are treating the population. We are going to give you the treatment that is the most cost effective for the population, with the goal, of course, of being able to assess you and target a therapy that will be able to treat you like that. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So what's happening is people that are your age and my age, Brian, because you and I are about the same age, and people older than us, they are being sacrificed for a better tomorrow. But nobody's bothered to tell us, nor do I think that they can. When is that tomorrow going to come? A lot of people have died. A lot of people have suffered because of these policies. And in particular, one community I can think of, which is actually where Lauren and I started, was the chronic pain community. Because these patients, many of them took opioid pain medicine. And despite what the media narrative has told you, most people can take it safely and not have any issues. But these people were taken off their medication before they had a viable alternative and left to suffer.
Well, I know that I can tell you that when I first had my back injury at work in 2004, they were like, oh, we can give you this and we can give you that and blah, 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 and we can make you comfortable the rest of your life. And I was like, no, I'll stick with the ibuprofen, Tylenol, soak in the bathtub routine.
Yeah.
I seen too many people that they broke a leg or they had a major trauma or something like that. They just shoved the freaking the painkillers at them. They got addicted, and then they were forced to go out and buy the crap off the street. And our
lawmakers knew that. When they decided to pull, and Lauren, forgive me, but I was at a meeting with you, and I don't remember who it was, but they acknowledged to us that that was the intention, that they were going to pull the medicine and intercept the patients there. The problem is we've had this opioid crisis going on for how long now? And it's only getting worse. So
I mean, it was alerted. It was so bad. Okay, the area that I worked in, we literally had to beat the family of these overdose people off of our drug bags.
I believe it. Jesus. I believe you. But the problem is that it was 100% blamed on pharmaceuticals when our lawmakers knew that it was fentanyl and heroin.
Yep.
That's actually a complete other story, because now you've got a bunch of sick people. You know, I'm in remission, but I had a very serious autoimmune disease. You have sick people, and they're losing access to their medicine that was safe and effective for them because of a government narrative. And here we are all these years later, and the problem is worse than ever.
Yeah.
I think
the ongoing joke in the paramedic field was that we were pretty sure that the federal government was taking a kickback from the drug dealers.
So it's sad, because if you look at where our the modern medicine industry started and why it started, if you do your research and you go back and you look, it started off with the Rockefellers because they had a byproduct of making gasoline.
Right.
All this stuff that came out of oil. Now, there were some positive things that came out of making oil. But don't get me wrong. We have advanced as a society because of it. But the synthetic medicines that they're making pushed out the homeopathic medicines that were actually really good for us. They our body is a charge, right? We're just one big capacitor, basically. And our charges get off. We're not grounded to the earth very much anymore. We're not one with nature anymore. If you think about the mass amount of people in this world wear sneakers and live in a city. So they're walking on concrete.
Yeah.
They're not.
Right.
I'm very, very big on grounding to the earth. It's neither here nor there. But
Yeah.
the biggest issue we have is the fact that we're taking these synthetic drugs to coat our neurons to make us think that we're feeling better and to make us feel better, when in reality, all it's doing, it's just a mask. Where we have all these natural herbs, and let me just say this real quick. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving out medical advice. We have so many different options we can take, but we have been so dependent on the medical field for so long, we forgot about them. Rockefeller decided he was going to make all these homeopathic doctors, if you wanted to go study, well, you weren't really, they took away the funding for them, and you weren't going to get paid.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest issue we have. These
Oh,
people
yeah.
are going out and trying to find the fastest way they can make $1, and that's it. They're not looking for your better health.
Well, now what it's turned into is that the money and the funding is going heavily toward the clinical trials.
Yep.
Because they are getting rid of some things that worked, and they want to try new designer medications for certain illnesses and diseases.
Yep.
But then the other aspect of this is moving into this new style of healthcare that they're going to impose on all of us is self-management. And they really do want to create a healthier society by encouraging people to exercise and eat right and do this. And I'm all for that. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's great.
But what about our freedom? What about our
exactly?
freedom?
At what
you know
cost?
what? If you don't want to eat right, that's your business. And with the digital, like I'm wearing an Apple Watch, I'll admit it, with these digital devices that are able to monitor us biometrically, they're going to be able to link that to compliance. And if you are not compliant, you're going to lose access to services, or they're going to deny to pay.
Yeah,
that is one of the goals.
But the thing
is all about control of the population.
Yeah, absolutely. And we need to educate ourselves in other avenues. I thought when my wife brought this up to me, I thought it was a fucking joke. I'm like, there's no way this actually works. I take Arnica instead of Advil now. Arnica, you can overdose on Advil, but you can't overdose on any sort of homeopathic. That's nearly impossible.
So the whole pharma angle of this is something like the pharmaceuticals in and of itself, other than being a medical assistant. I'm not as well versed on that aspect of it as I am the policy, but I am aware of the history and what you spoke about.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And stuff. It's actually very, very interesting, and I think we do need to start looking.
This is what I'm trying to get at.
Alternatives.
If we used more homeopathics, there's no money in homeopathics. That's why they don't push it.
Right.
They can get more money from politicians by pushing synthetics than they can pushing
right. And they want you in the medical system because they need to study you, because they need your data, because they need to inform the learning healthcare system. They want your data. This whole thing, and I was like reviewing.
Jeez, you got notes. You came prepared.
because I do so much reading, and I'm like, I need to sit down and review some stuff. And I came across this surveillance capitalism stuff.
Yeah,
Dr. Robert Malone spoke about this.
I've been to one of his conferences, and I met the man. He's
wonderful.
Dude, he is awesome.
He is something else, and he talked about the extraction of value without your permission. And that is what's going on here. When they're able to monitor us through our medical record, through these devices, the surveillance capital model, he said, is what drives the revenue for Amazon, Google, and Facebook, and so many in the tech industry. He said that it is pushed by the censorship industrial complex, the fact checker industry, blah, 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 blah. But what I really took out of this, which is my main talking point, is they are extracting value off of you. You and I are no longer patients.
No.
We are little data creating little machines for them to extract from, and they're doing it without our knowledge and our consent, just like they're putting us into the clinical trials without our knowledge and consent.
So where their lab rats?
And you want to know what else? I got to tell you one more thing. You know what else they did back in 2016? They rolled back the IRB waiver of informed consent. So now, where they used to have to go tell you, oh, yeah, about informing you that you're going to be in a clinical trial. Well, if they've deemed the trial minimal risk, they don't have to tell you.
Oh, that's bullshit.
And that Lauren, she's the one that latched onto this. We work together very closely. We're like lockstep all the time, but we kind of get interested in different things. This is her baby. She locked onto this, and she's 100% correct. That needs to be rolled back. So, Brian, when you ask me, can we just get rid of the ACA? I don't think that the forces out there are going to allow us. But if we can tear and peel away back the layers,
Like an onion.
Get them to reverse this thing about the IRB waiver. You know what I mean? Get them to reverse the what is it? The Smith-Mundt Act about the propaganda, because they propagandized the general society through COVID, through the opioid crisis, through the climate crisis, all of this. And nobody else trusts the media anymore. Nobody trusts what they're hearing anymore. Everybody lost trust in public health.
Yeah, I don't trust my...
So pick away at it, roll it back. That's our position. You see what I mean?
I told my PA, I said, Mike, I love you to death. I trust you with my life. But you lied to me about the vaccine. He goes, well, that's the data I had at the time.
Right.
And I said, I'm not pissed at you, but I'm pissed off at the pharmaceutical company.
Well, I have some
in the federal government. But I'm not going to let you jab me anymore with any of this shit.
Well, and you should have the right to say that, but let me give you some insight on this. And I think this was something I also heard Dr. Malone say as well. And my husband is also a physician. So I have that additional ability to see what's happening from his end. Doctors, up until this point, the older guys, like my husband, they were raised, if you will, in this field, practicing medicine, believing in what the authorities told them, what the FDA, what the CDC, what the NIH told them. They were able to rely on that. Through this public-private partnership, through this unholy alliance between the state and private industry, that's been lost. And so the older guys like my husband, who have been trained to follow the rules, to believe what their medical directors are telling them,
do no harm,
they're at a loss because they believe that they're not doing harm. The younger ones are going to be a different story now, because they're being brought up, for lack of a better word, trained in the medical schools, when the American Medical Association has fully adopted social justice as a platform, has fully adopted the woke agenda and DEI policies and DEI selection of our physicians. These are going to be the people that are going to do what the computer tells them to, instead of appealing to their knowledge, like the older guys that have built this knowledge base over years and years of practicing. It's going to be all algorithm. It's going to be all based on what the computer says. And the Precision Medicine Initiative is what's really making this whole thing roll. So it's actually very sad to see where this is going.
I didn't realize it was this bad.
It is. And there's a whole lot more. Like Lauren and I, between the two of us, could probably give you guys like a 5-hour dissertation on what's going on with healthcare and how we think we need to best wedge ourselves in here as a community of people, so that we can make sure that we're not harmed in this process, and that there is oversight to these people that have gone hog wild. I mean, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. I told you I could rant.
It's fine. Go for it. You
mentioned the Medicare for all.
Oh, yeah.
That's the same thing as single payer?
It is. It is. Now, we see this happening in California. I'm going to speak about my state. Just know whatever starts out in California, all of our horrible ideas, I am so sorry for. It's going to bleed to the rest of the United States.
You're fine. Our
for that, I feel
governor
sorry.
Here in Virginia wanted us to be California, and the current House and Representative of Virginia is still pushing his fucking agenda, even though we don't want it.
And here in Massachusetts, we just we
No,
let you
Mass is
implement.
already California. What are you talking about?
We let you implement it, find out what's wrong with it, and then we implement it here.
It's what was I gonna say? Darn it, I lost it. I hate that when that happens. Where was I, guys? Where was
So,
I?
Pegman
Laura,
Alright.
you
asked,
remember
how
where
do
I
we
was?
escape this?
It was the Medicare for all. We see this
Yeah.
in California. Now I found my spot. We have got an influx of illegal aliens coming into California, receiving free health care that we, the taxpayers, are paying for. And what is it doing? It's making the system impacted. So when you need that surgery, when you need to see your doctor, there's no availability, and it's actually crashing the system.
Mm-hmm.
It is also really when you look at the reimbursements, I found this one doctor out of California. He's a surgeon, Dr. Robert Wagner. He did an excellent series on oh gosh, where is it? I have it up here somewhere, California Globe, writing about this very, very thing and how detrimental it is to everybody that you cannot get care in a timely manner. So
Even
it's
in the
gonna be a
emergency
real
rooms.
problem. It's going to be a real problem with these millions of people coming in here and this whole push under this, this platform that Harris and the Democrats have, that they want Medicare for all. And while that sounds very nice, you have to take the time to look at the policies and look at the legislation that they are passing. Because, and I'm not saying right, left, whatever, I'm saying most stuff that I see passing or even being discussed in Congress, it'll have a title. Let's take the Inflation Reduction Act. That's not what it did at all. You got to look past the euphemisms and happy talk to see what is in the meat of that document to know what these people are voting on.
Well,
It's important.
you talk about the impact. I can tell you because I know the stats out here. In my
Yeah.
greater city area, we run about at any one time 155 ambulances between the private
right.
and the fire department. We had a situation at one of our local hospitals, which is the largest trauma one center in the area. Our paramedics were being held at the emergency room for almost 10 hours with one patient against the wall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was getting bad. At one point, we had 100 of 150 ambulances stacked up in the emergency room.
Right. And those are patients that need help. And meanwhile, you're trying to continue to render
Well,
care
we
to
can't
them.
even, and we can't leave them.
You can't just dump them off. No, that's a problem.
And that means that ambulance is out of service for a whole shift.
That's
one
a problem.
patient.
Yep.
That's a problem. See, this is the whole Cloward Piven strategy. You push the system until it breaks. And
Push
you
it
rebuild it the
from
way
the
you
top
want it.
down and the bottom up until it pops.
And I really, really intuitively feel like that's what's happening. I really do, because I don't see these people make six figures, and you've got Lauren and I out of our homes, and we've been able to just deconstruct this and figure it out. You mean to tell me you people that make six figures can't figure out that you've got a real problem here?
Oh, they can figure it out, but I don't think they want to because of the money.
Bingo. That's what I'm saying. This is a system about control. And the people at the top, I just feel like either are getting really bad information, or they don't care, or they're incompetent. I don't want to make any value judgment on any one individual that I have not spoken with, but we've got a real problem here, and we need boots on the ground, and we need people making noise, and we need people paying attention to this issue.
I'm going to jump down a rabbit hole here real quick.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like rabbit holes. Let's go.
Yeah, this has got the WEF and the WHO all
Yep.
over it.
Once again, this all ties in to George Orwell's 1984 and Karl Marx Communist Manifesto. If you haven't read them, I encourage you to read them just so you're educated enough to see the writing on the fucking wall.
I read it in high school, and I don't remember what I read. But you know how it is when you're younger and you kind of
Oh yeah,
skim
no.
through and
I
you take
like I
the
said,
test.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
gotta
here
go
recently
reread.
getting into it, but yeah, it's interesting to see what's going on and how accurate it's getting.
Yeah.
It's more scary than anything.
How
Yeah.
much influence does Gates have in all this crap?
Well, he's funding a lot of work that's happening at the World Health Organization, from what I understand. As an individual, I don't find him to be very influential. I would argue that he's one of the most hated men on the face of the earth. So clearly, his money is what's doing the walking and talking over there. I have a real issue with the
So
fact
he doesn't have his hands in this crap here yet.
What I mostly see are big organizations like his, the Clinton Foundation. I've seen, oh gosh, what is their name? Trust for America's Health. What's the other one? On the tip of my tongue. Oh my gosh, Lauren, you know who they are. Girl, if you're still there, type them. There's one real big one. Anyways, they are like little factories where they are constantly laundering policy, individuals, money, and influence, and that's what they do. And they are part of, the lack of a better word, the mosaic or the symbiote that is where all of this came from. All of this push for single payer. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. There we go. I found it in my brain somewhere. It's
what are we looking at?
all being pushed.
Are the politicians getting a payoff for pushing this shit?
Oh, they have to be.
You know what?
Or are you gonna?
I found one of them that had quite the interesting stock portfolio that coincided with some legislation was passed on a particular medication that was being tried on a particular population. So I wouldn't put it past them that there is some influence going on with the lobbyists.
Given their track record on their stock market, like look at Pelosi and NEPA, what's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene. Looking at their track record, how in the world do they know to go after these stocks and then immediately after making millions off of it?
Well, it's not insider trading.
No, it's not. You're right, but it's exactly. They're getting these lobbyists. Hey, we'll make this happen in our stocks if you push this, because this is
and this leads me to another very important aspect of Lauren and I in our work. These lobbying firms, PR firms, they are also working with the advocacy industry, the little 501c3s, which, full disclosure, Lauren and I are a 50c3, but we're part of the parallel economy because we don't ascribe to this stuff. These advocacy industries that go out and do their astroturfing and make it look like there's a whole big show of support out there on the street.
Yep.
They're all connected to each other. They're pushing the government narrative. They are, and they're tricking the patients. We saw it all over X. We got a bunch of patients.
The government's not making these easy access things just for no reason. It's not for our benefit. They want to find out how they can make as much money off of whatever they push.
They want to manipulate the public into buying what they're selling.
Yep. Yeah, there's a reason why I haven't registered as a farm. There's a reason.
Right.
I
know a little bit about that, but not much.
But yeah, no, it kind of goes within that. It's if you register as something, they can then file anything against your file. You know, if they find anything wrong, they can put whatever they want out towards you. If I'm a private citizen, I'm working as a private, in my own interest, they can't do shit for me.
Right.
But now they entice the hell out of you, because if you're a 501c3, there's a lot of tax benefits with it.
Oh, well, they tried to entice my partner by basically wanting her and I guess, to shut up. So, offering her, what was it? One influential group said, we get people on stages, trying to appeal to her desire. Her and I are not funded. We are funded by local donations. These groups do get funded, and they get to run their orgs to the tunes of hundreds of thousands of dollars because they're saying the right thing. They're doing what the government wants. They're running the desired agenda. People like Lauren and I, we're standing up against it. So, it's kind of different than the example that you gave, but it's, that's why this is such a mess. That's why that graphic that I made, really, the more you learn about it and the more you get into it, you understand the public-private partnership is the problem. It is a circle jerk of absolute. Am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Circle jerk of fuckery that is going on, and they are subverting our Constitution. They are subverting our rights as citizens to be involved in this process. They're private industry, so we can't FOIA. We can't.
Yep.
There is no oversight. Half these groups, they oversee their damn self.
Yeah.
How is that okay? Why are you people making decisions on what we're going to do with our healthcare when we, the people, can't even take a look at it? I don't think that's right.
Absolutely.
You mean we got to pass it before you can see what's in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like these huge, what do they call them, omnibus bills, but the stacks and stacks and stacks of paper that are 4 to 6 feet tall, and they want you to read it within 12 hours. It's physically impossible.
Nobody can read that much. I mean, I can speed read, but my goodness, come on. Your brain can't absorb that.
Right,
and then on top of that,
what kind of dog do you have? I'm going to go off.
I have a Chihuahua.
I have one.
I
got a long hair Chihuahua, yeah.
Mine's a short hair. He's 10 years old today. It's his birthday.
Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah,
happy birthday.
My Chihuahua is 11 years old.
Oh, so they're like really close in age. Miles, knock it off. Mama's busy. Hey, Mama's busy, baby. One of my kids came home.
Look, they're smart, but they don't know how to shut up.
No, not at all. Not at all.
That small dog or that big dog syndrome comes in. Or small dog syndrome, whatever. But no. My name, or his name is Theodore.
Theodore and Miles.
Yep.
Cute. So
go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off subject.
No, you're fine. I mean, this is just supposed to be a conversation, just relaxed, and I mean,
you were rolling. I love it. I'm learning a lot.
Thank you. I hope I'm not going too fast.
No, keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah.
What do you think? Anything in Agenda 47 regarding healthcare?
You know what? I know that I looked, but off the top of my head, I couldn't remember. Let's see what President Trump has said about healthcare. I don't think so. But look, this is what I think. I think we need to let the election happen, and then it's time to revisit this issue. Meanwhile, Lauren and I are getting our website together. We are getting our content curated so that someone who maybe isn't familiar with the subject can go to our website and learn about it and see how to get involved. She is going to be doing a class on how to teach people how to engage with our government, because we're mapping our federal government on our website. That thing is so freaking big with all the bureaucracy, and people, they don't know how to approach it. So she's going to be teaching the class. We teach strategy, all of that. It's time to resurrect this healthcare discussion so that we can start, having a say. We have no say. We have absolutely no say. And these people that were in charge, they ran this through without anybody knowing about it.
So if he gets when he gets elected, we're going to need to get you in contact with somebody on that team.
Lauren and I would be very happy to have communication, with the administration in regards to what the problems are with the public-private partnerships, the informed consent. How can we move forward as a society? Understanding that dismantling this would completely crash. I think it would crash a great portion of our economy. Not like that's happening already of now.
It's just like if you were to ever try to get rid of these mega corporations like Walmart or Amazon, it would cripple the economy because of how many people
it would. So it's not realistic. Right. You got to chip away. You got to chip away,
Yeah.
and you got to pick your battles, and you have to
Like,
find which
have-
lever to push that's going to make
Kind of
the
like
most
how Brian
impact.
said it's like peeling back an onion. But when he said that, I'm like, man, an onion is just too easy to peel. I was thinking like, well, maybe it's like a piece of puff pastry you got to peel back, you know?
Good Lord.
Well,
gonna
yeah,
take a while.
this is a big one. But yeah, you've got all these agencies, all these bureaucrats, all these working parts, all these people, and I suspect I don't even think half of them are even aware of what I've even spoken about
Hey,
on
Jonathan,
the big picture.
what do you think? Shasta,
Yeah.
Secretary of Health and Human Services.
I can see it.
Whew.
We need somebody informed on this stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot to it.
I'm
I honestly don't-
putting a nomination in.
Yeah,
I'm very
I'll
flattered,
second
but-
that one.
Oh, you guys are sweet.
But yeah, no. So your partner said, I think Agenda 47 wants to appeal the ACA. So I'm literally looking through this document right now. It's 16 pages. Of,
Yeah, it would take us some time. I should have known to take a look
No,
at this before I
I'm
met with you
gonna
today.
look at it now. I mean, it's fine. This is what the show's for. We're having a conversation at a dinner table, and if we could, Google is a wonderful drug now. I mean, we
It
can
is.
go through and find any document now, and then you can go to the Wayback
Well,
Machine and find
if
documentation.
they don't
that
deem
wasn't-
it to be
Well, exactly. Hold on. That's what I'm getting at. If you find something that may have been struck from the record, you can go to the Wayback Machine and find it there.
Oh
Usually it's there.
yeah.
So I
Love
use
that.
that a lot because
I do too.
9 times out of 10 they're gonna. I had a hard time trying to find new sounds today. I had you guys looking at it, but this sound right here was so hard to find. You couldn't find it, and then the cackle. I had to search a lot for that thing. It should have been a 3-second search. It took me over a minute to find it because they're
Right.
trying to hide it because it puts such a negative light on their campaign when you have an old man saying all the time, or
Oh.
your running mate is this. This is what we have something to look forward to. That's it. You know what I mean? Sorry, I had to also
I mean-
your buttons on the show.
was the guy hasn't even been nominated 2 days and they're already scrubbing his bio, trying to get rid of all this crap about his service
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
I-
all the false shit they try to put out about JD Vance trying to fuck a couch or something. Sorry,
Oh
you
my
kidding me?
gosh, really?
yeah, and now you've got it's
People
fake,
believe
and like I
that?
don't like putting fake stuff out, but apparently, Walt decided
This
he was gonna
may
kinda-
or not be true. We're not sure yet, but we're pretty. We'll
pretty
let you
sure
make
it's
your
leaning
own
towards the fake
decision.
side, but it's a document out there. It's a news article. I don't know who made it, but if you made it, please come forward because you deserve some sort of reward about him cum guzzling some horse cum. So.
Oh, I saw that. I was like, oh gosh, this is just awful. Speaking though of his platform, and ascribing to the the euphemism, the gender affirming care.
Oh,
Now
God.
that also is written into the ACA. I have not read that section. But that's also,
Well,
something else I guess
supposedly-
we would see more of if these two individuals were to hold office.
Supposedly, he codified that into the Minnesota Constitution.
Look, if anybody
Yeah,
hasn't
that's
done their
right.
research on this jackass, he is the reason why Minnesota did not get. He's from Minnesota, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Minnesota didn't get
Little Somalia.
National Guard to Minneapolis
Yeah.
Yep.
During the
in
riot.
time to stop the George Floyd riots from destroying a bunch of businesses.
Well,
Also, the reason why there are tampons in boys' bathrooms, and he's
Yes.
also the reason why. Oh God, it just slipped my mind. Fuck me.
well, did you hear about his daughter?
Yeah, she came out against him or something, right?
No, she was baiting dad for information about the National Guard and the deployment. And she
Oh,
was
yeah, yeah,
going
and that's how
out
they
telling
found out about
BLM, "Oh, don't worry about it. The National Guard's not going to be out there tonight making an arrest."
Yeah.
Or they're
Yeah.
going to be in the 5th precinct tonight.
My
Doing
biggest
arrests.
issue with this guy is the fact that he's doing stolen valor. He is
Yes.
taking.
Yeah.
Oh God,
I am
I'm off
not
the wall with
military.
that.
I do not. Will never claim to be military. I'll never try to get a military discount from anybody. I don't care
Oh.
if I'm not gonna do that because I respect our military. I respect what they do.
Yeah.
It's a hard ass fucking decision they've had to do.
Yeah.
It is
And I
40
can
years,
tell you,
40
we're
to
not-
40 years of their life they'll never get back. I respect every
Yeah.
fucking decision them boys and girls have made.
And I
Yeah.
can tell you right now,
That
the veteran.
motherfucker needs to be kicked in the nuts 100 times over by every fucking service member there is for stealing fucking valor.
Well, you know,
It's not-
we're not going to let this go in the veterans community.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing
Yeah.
is it will be let go by some of the veterans because some of the veterans
No, it
are
won't.
blue. There are blue fucking retards who have been pushed an agenda by Project Mockingbird, and they will let it go. You
Well,
may not let it go as somebody who actually served and cares about their fucking country, but they will never let it
but
go.
I'm going
They
to
will
tell
let
you
it
that we're not going to let it go as far as letting him get away with it and saying this shit.
No, yeah.
There's going to be something down the road with a penalty.
I agree. Now, I don't think this gives this man any chance in hell or this girl any chance in hell of winning. The fact that you have people saying that people are leaving the Trump campaign or Trump team to go to
That's not happening.
Hamilton's-
I
That
know
ain't
that.
happening. No way.
If anything, it's the people that were blue and were like, I'm not voting for this fucking sleaze bag in a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
dead suit. You know,
Yeah.
that's the only. Those are the only people that are going back.
You mean-
or the people that went from fucking Kennedy?
Are there going to be rhinos and establishment people that are
Oh, yeah,
absolute
every-
never Trumpers that are going to go over and go, oh, look at me. I'm
if you
supporting
tell me
Kamala.
that Kamala Harris is taking away Trump's votes.
That's
for
not
no-
happening.
It's
No.
not. No, she's not leading in any. I mean, maybe the liberal polls because they want her to look good, but that's the most you're going to get out of it. And if you tell me that they're going to pull out every fucking stop that they pulled out last time, they're still using the voting machines. They haven't updated shit on them. They're still hooked up to the internet. So tell me, what is going to stop these people from ever cheating or from not cheating again?
You know what? I had an
Yeah.
idea.
I don't know. I think it's going to
I
be
had
too
an
hard
idea
for them
today.
to do it.
No.
Dan said something that really stuck in my head, and I'm like, how would you even organize this? But I am going to take a picture of how I voted.
Yep.
He
Well,
said all the people in Venezuela did this and that they were able to show that there was a discrepancy. Now, obviously, I don't have a large enough platform to get this out there to tell everybody, hey, take a picture of your ballot.
That's a
But
good
I wish I
idea.
did. But I wish I did. Because
Yeah.
that's what I would tell everyone to do. That's what I would tell everyone to do because really we need a reprieve from the last 4 years. We need to bring sanity back. We need to bring our
what's going on.
our economy back.
Yeah. We need to
even
start
like-
exporting. We're not doing that.
I
We're not
know,
doing
I
that at
know.
all. If we could bring back all the companies that Clinton pushed away when he shipped everything to China,
Yeah.
and export it, we could probably abolish our income tax because with our tariffs easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we could fund our
If we
veterans.
drill,
We could help
drill,
everybody in our society.
bring
You
back
want someone of a-
manufacturing.
You want somewhat of a socialist economy? Do it in the terms of we're selling all of our stuff, we're paying our taxes, or they're taking those tariffs and they're putting it back into the community. That's what needs to happen. That's really what needs to happen. You can make more money off of tariffs than off of the citizens here, and you can get
Yep.
off our fucking backs if we don't pay $13 in income tax. No person should ever go to jail for less than $1 million in income tax fraud, in my opinion, because it's a tax. I'm sorry. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Yeah, you shouldn't be sorry. This is your show.
No, this
That's
is
your
my-
opinion.
no, yes, I'm
State
saying,
it
yeah.
clearly.
Yeah, this is my money. I want to keep. I want it now.
There you
I can
go.
invest my money 1,000 different ways better, and actually invest it if it wasn't getting taken out in taxes.
Yeah, yeah. That is a whole other discussion, like economics and stuff. I know about
Oh,
this
yeah.
much.
Yeah,
But I am
wanna
the healthcare girl, the healthcare policy girl with my BFF Lauren. And but yeah, I certainly have I'm very opinionated on those subjects though as well too.
Yeah.
And don't
so-
get me started on the border because then I'll start ranting.
Let's go on the
again,
border. What do you
so-
think about the border? Yeah.
Shut it.
Yeah, no, you bring in all these people in.
I've had
when
enough.
We can't afford
I've
it.
had enough. This is it just our poor country can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at healthcare and the system that we
My-
invested,
my
we
question
paid our
is-
taxes for
Yeah.
this system,
and
and
you
now
want to
we're not
put
going to
this
have services.
you want to put
Oh,
this
oh.
system into place, and it's going to turn into the VA because they're not going to have enough doctors. They're going to
Oh, and
be
you know what else they're gonna
overcrowded,
do?
and we're going to be fucked.
You know what else
But-
they're going to do?
What's that?
Because of DEI, they're also and equity. There's a lot of this equity talk in the
God.
healthcare.
I-
And I don't think I need to give you the lecture about the 3 people standing at the fence, and you got the 6 foot tall, you got the 5 foot tall, and the 3 foot tall person in the
No.
wheelchair, but the fence is 5 feet tall. The
Yep.
only way to achieve equity is to cut that 6 foot tall guy off at the knees. That is exactly where this is going with healthcare. That is exactly what they're going to do. It is going to be factored into the algorithm, and whether or not you get care.
Look, if they can fix the federal government or the federally funded Medicare, I'm talking like this pre-existed before any of this, before Obamacare came into effect,
Yeah.
before any of that. If they can fix that to where these people are actually getting the care they need instead of pushing them off and, oh, well, just take this and you'll be okay. We'll come back in a week. And then they go out and go shoot themselves because they weren't treated properly. If you can fix
Yeah.
that system, maybe I'll
that's-
listen to you.
That's one of the goals of precision medicine, and that's what they
But-
really want to do, to interface it with our
It-
data and the biometrics, and maybe that can be
They'll
realized. But
never get there
the problem
because
is
it actually takes a real doctor to look at this stuff
there's
and go through it.
there's no incentive. I want you to remember this. There is no incentive to solve this issue
Yep.
because then
Then you
there won't
lose
be
money.
any money to be
Yeah.
made. And also, when you're looking at putting in our biometric data along with all this social data, they want that industry is also going to want to keep perpetuating itself. So they're never going to realize it. It's not going to be fixed in my lifetime.
No, it'll never get fixed in my lifetime. Hell,
But
I'll be
that's
surprised
what
if
they
it gets
say
fixed
they
in
want.
my lifetime.
I'll be
No,
gone
it
before
won't.
the both of you.
Jesus, man, come on.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty
I could
sure.
get hit- I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. You don't know that. I mean, it'd be tragic.
Yeah,
Anybody
no,
pass away
it's-
young, but you
it's,
know.
it's sad where we've come, and it's sad that that there is a group of people out there that think that we are on the right path to implement this
Yeah.
shit now.
Yeah, and then you've got the other group of people who are the academic elite who think they're so much smarter than the rest of us that
Well,
we
that's-
should just defer to what they want and they call the shots.
So I don't know if you listen to Jeff D's podcast.
Just a
I know
good
his
guy.
name.
Yeah.
But I
He's
don't
a-
think I've heard him before.
So he mentioned yesterday that he's like New Yorkers are really proud to be New Yorkers.
Yeah.
He's like, but I don't know what's so proud about not being able, to know how to drive, to hunt, to fish, to, what makes that manly? At what point are you
Good point.
manly? You are not manly. We're at a society where living in a concrete jungle in a cage is manly
yeah.
because you called somebody out on the fucking street or you're willing to fight them. No, what's manly is that you can provide for your family.
Absolutely.
That is a true man. I don't care who you are.
100%.
And you're a true woman if you
100%.
can
I
if you can provide
applaud.
for your family. So these people that tell me that it's manly to accept these different cultures. I accept people for who they are, not the culture that they grew up in. I go by character,
Right.
not by skin color or
Right.
or where
right.
you're from. Or I don't give
Right.
a fuck. I could
The
care less.
identity politics
anything,
needs to go.
I'm going to ask you where you're from because I want to know more about you. I
Yeah,
want to
sure.
know you because I want to find out who you are so that
Right.
to see if I can trust you or not.
Right.
That's my whole thing. I want to find out who you are so that I can see, are you really a good person or are you here to fuck me over? Because
Right.
I've got my guard up because I've been screwed over more times than I'd like to count. So
Yeah.
it's
Amen, brother. Amen.
it's a sad moment that we've gotten to this point. But
It really, really is. It really is.
and it's
It's
those people
unfortunate.
like that are pushing these, for these out of this world ideas from,
Yeah. Well,
from-
and the sad thing is, these out of the world ideas, I cannot believe that they permeated freaking healthcare. Whatever happened to science?
that's the
we
thing,
have
that's-
agenda dressed up as science, and
but
now we
science
have doctors.
science got thrown out the window with
Science
COVID.
sold themselves.
Dude,
Yeah.
they're writing it in their freaking papers.
Yeah.
Of
Well,
people with uteruses or person with vagina. I mean, huh?
so Dr.
That's a freaking
Malone
woman.
and
Or how
All
about if you Google,
all
can
these
a guy
people
get
have
pregnant,
gone
and then you
through-
get a science journal that tells
Oh.
you that
yeah.
it's possible a guy can
It's
get pregnant.
coming.
I'm like, what?
So you have all these people that are coming out, like I said, Dr. Malone, Peter McCullough,
Yeah.
saying this is wrong. We shouldn't
Yeah.
be doing this. I've got a family member who worked at WVU, and he has been ousted from WVU. He can't go back there because he wrote a paper on transgenderism, and they said no. He did a speech on it, and this was years ago. This is years before this whole thing was pushed, and he's no longer allowed there because of that speech.
Oh, I believe it.
Over 20
I
years.
believe it. In California, if you're a doctor and you don't promote the vaccine,
That's what I'm saying. You get nixed. You're not making the
you're
money.
gone.
Yeah.
You're gone. So it's really, and I just got to say something. And this might be a little bit off topic, but it's just gone so far. My husband is 77 years old. Okay, he gets an email, and it's talking about pronouns.
What?
I'm sorry.
What do you know what that does to a person in that age group?
Do you
When
know that it
Demoralizes them.
fucks with
in a
your head
medical
when you do that shit?
establishment, you cannot
Well-
look at this guy and tell me that he's a him or I'm a she. Like it's gone too far. We need
Well,
to
this
rein
is
it back
out of
in.
the Communist Manifesto. Everybody's called comrade because it's gender neutral. There's nothing
Yeah, I got to
to
read
it.
that thing.
Dude, it is
I gotta read that
insane.
thing.
Insane. You
Yeah.
do not have any sort of gender calling anything. It is all about being gender neutral. We are pushing towards communist as this country
Yeah.
Yeah.
faster and sooner than you ever thought. It is insane.
I just looked in the chat. I don't mean to laugh, but I see
No, go
Holden
for it.
McGroin. No fucking pronouns for me. Yes.
Thank you, Holden.
Yes.
I am the same fucking way.
I
If you
applaud
look at me and you
Holden.
look like a
Thank you.
female, I'm
I
going to
should've
call
been
you a
watching
female.
the chat
But
this whole time.
If I see you have a fucking Adam's apple, I'm going to call you a male because you can't get rid of your fucking Adam's apple.
'Cause you're a dude.
Yeah. If you got a bulge in your pants and it's coming through your fucking tight pants, oddly, odds are it's probably a micro. But
14 years in the military, and all I learned was sir and ma'am. Okay? I go out into public and I go, oh, thank you, ma'am. I'm not a ma'am. I'm like,
my pronouns are fuck and you. I like that. My
Whatever.
pronouns are come and get me.
sorry I offended your ass.
Yeah. I'm not sorry. Fuck you. I don't care. Look, I'm not going to call you. If I see somebody I know is transgender, right now, I'm going to tell you now. I'm not going to go against you. Like I've been in the company of a few. I'm going to look at you like, I'm going to treat you like you're a human, first off.
Sure.
Second
that's
off,
how you should.
If you don't say anything to me, I'm not going to call you by your name that you've made up. I'm going to be, hey, man, or hey, you, or hey, how's it going? I'm going
Yeah,
to
just
avoid
be
that as
decent.
much as I fucking can, because if you come at me and tell me, oh, it's ma'am, oh, my name is this.
yeah,
It's
too
not
much.
it's not
It's too
Sarah
much.
anymore. It's Sam. I'm going to look at you, and it's going to go from a look like this. And it's going to go like this. And it's going to be the look of, fucked up now. You're about to get your fucking ear full of some patriotic shit.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it
we were
just didn't need to
talking-
go this
But
far.
I try to do as much as I can to respect you as a human,
course.
because that's what
Of
you
course.
are. But if you try to tell me that my mindset is wrong, I'm not going to have the fucking thought police come into my head and tell me that what I was taught growing up that boys are boys and girls are girls
Oh.
for certain fucking reasons. Besides a fucking penis and a vagina, the goddamn chromosomes tell you more than anything. If
Yeah,
you tell me
yeah.
that you're a female and your chromosomes tell me you're a male, we're gonna have an issue.
Well, how about I tell you that I'm a cat or I'm a dog?
Oh.
Because
Oh,
now
gosh,
school,
the
we
furries.
There's
people,
a school district in my
furries.
area.
we got litter
has-
boxes in the
Yeah.
classroom now.
Yeah, there's cat litter boxes in one of the school districts where I live.
I love this
It's
one
absolutely
comment
insane.
from Russ. Transgenders are similar to vegans. If they don't talk about it, I don't care. Actually, after being a waitress for most of my adult working life before I got sick, I have to tell you that there are certain people and they get very militant about their belief
Oh,
system.
God.
And I kind of see that like with even I don't like TikTok, but you know, these things do cross my path. And you see a dude with a beard, with long hair, a little bit of lipstick and wearing a skirt
Yeah.
and making videos of himself going
You
out to
got a
restaurants,
fucking beard.
people calling him dude and him going, I am a man, ma'am, you know, and then throwing a big fit about it. And it's just
You're-
like, you guys are bringing this on yourself. Let's just be cool. Just be yourself. Just mind your own business and it's fine, you know?
Shave your fucking beard
It's just
off.
too much.
Maybe do a little bit of makeup because there's ways to make your face look more feminine. But
I
You
did
think-
that today.
You
I
think
just-
that Barnum and Bailey are up in heaven going, holy shit, where was all this crap when we were trying to have the greatest show on earth?
Oh, that's a
Living in
good
a
one.
circus.
I like that.
living in a circus. Golly. But yeah, no, it's sad where we've come and sad where we're at. But
It is.
luckily enough, we have the people that are in the chat. We've got you. We've got more, you know, a copious amount of people more that actually
Yeah.
understand that where we're headed is in a dark direction.
Dark.
And
Yeah,
we need to turn around to where the light is and start going in that path.
absolutely. And
it's-
protect yourself and your
Yeah,
family
if-
and
if
those you
I'm
love.
not going to stop you from chopping off your penis if you're over 18. I don't give a fuck what you do with your body at that point. But if it's a child that thinks that they need some sort of surgery in that way, as a parent, you should probably, even if you agree with them, you should probably be like, well, this is a decision that's going to affect your entire life. Let's
Right.
wait until you're 18. We will, you know, support you at that point. But until then, let's just
not
be a kid,
anymore.
not
They
worry
will
about
come
that.
and arrest you.
I understand that,
and
but
take
I'm
your
saying
kid.
in general, this is if anything, have that attitude. Talk to me about why you think that way. We're not doing that right. We're immediately going to the fact of, hey, let's go here. Let's do this because you think this is correct. You know, let's do this immediately. It's like if my son ever came to me and said, Daddy, I want a tattoo. I'm not gonna give a fucking tattoo. Hey, Daddy, I want to cut my arm off. No.
Right.
But apparently you can say, Daddy, I want to cut my dick off. No.
Well, and
I'm not gonna
also
say
as
yes
a
to that.
parent, if you know that your child is having those issues, it's an opportunity for you to intervene.
Yes.
And what's happening in states like my state is they'll take your kid and they'll
George
facilitate
Orwell,
the change. And
1984.
you can't do a damn thing about it. How is that healthcare? I don't see how this is
There-
healthcare.
This is dividing the family, getting rid of the nuclear
Mhm.
family at
Right.
its finest.
Right.
At its finest.
100%.
And the state
100%.
saying we're in charge, not
Exactly.
you, the
This
parents.
state. This is George Orwell's 1980. You gotta read this. man.
I've got to
I
read
haven't
it again.
It is.
I read it in high school.
It's phenomenally scary
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
accurate that is.
Yeah.
I think they actually have a revised version that's also free.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's Audible has this shit. I don't have time to read because I'm busy. I farm.
Yeah.
So when I drive my 45 minutes to work, I listen to that. You know,
Yeah.
it's free. I'm going to listen to it free, you know.
Yeah.
But it's and I was curious enough because I've heard so many people quote it. I'm like, yeah, I gotta read this. It
It's
gives me insight
incredible.
on why people think this way, but it also gives you the insight of like I kind of get it, but at the same time, I don't get it because it's like if you did that, you're giving up so many rights, so many
Yeah.
like you're giving up your life. You might as well not be alive at that point because you don't have.
Yeah.
You can't think your way you want to think. You can't have an original thought.
Well,
Because
and
they don't
that's
promote it. It's not
that's
there.
really
And if you do
concerning.
it, you're just like, oh, well, the state didn't
That's
say
what's-
that. I can't do that.
that's what's really concerning too about this surveillance capitalism and that whole model is
Yeah.
that they're going to be able to steer you And even medically, they're going to be doing this, steer you toward interventions that they want you to take, but you may not have ever done on your own volition. And having that type of control over us, over our body sovereignty, is not okay. And it's not okay.
How many people do you know that take everything the doctor says to heart?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
There are a lot, but I see a lot of mistrust happening now since COVID.
Since
But
COVID.
yeah, no, before COVID.
Before. Oh my God.
I had no problem with getting vaccinated and doing all. I never got a flu shot. I thought that was a fucking joke. But, you know, if it was like, oh, well, yeah, polio, that shit. Now, I'm not doing that shit. I won't get another fucking shot in my life because now they're doing all this mRNA and everything else. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, that's really going to be, we're going to be seeing a lot of that in future medications, that they'll be removing older stuff that worked that is actually really cheap.
Because they can make money off
Because they can make money off the more expensive stuff. And then within the public-private partnership,
it's just like
with
what
the
they
state,
did with
and the
ivermectin.
state will pay for it. Yes, 100%. You know
ivermectin is not a horse dewormer.
Well,
ivermectin was given to people in Africa because it was such a cheap drug and they could afford to send it over there and it would deworm them and it would help them out. Ivermectin was given to, I don't know if you were ever given it, but my mother-in-law told me that her parents used to give her ivermectin just on like every 6 months or every 3 months, just to make sure that there were no worms in their system and no parasites, because it got rid of that. It's insane to me that we can call this a horse dewormer when it was been given to humans. It was one of the first things given to humans that actually helped. And it's pretty natural. There's not very many bad ingredients in it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one concern I have. And
Once again, we're not doctors, we're not giving medical advice.
I know you're going to probably hate me for saying this, but
no.
The mRNA has a good side to it.
How?
Okay.
I know where you're going.
Genetically, I have high cholesterol. Okay? Mm-hmm. They put me on every single cholesterol medicine they could freaking put me on, and it didn't touch it. I mean, I was on Actobastin, the highest dose, for 10 years, and my cholesterol never came down. Okay?
Yes.
So, my PA said, look, let me send you to the cardiologist.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to get you an EKG and a baseline, so God forbid we have a baseline to go off of.
Sure, yeah.
And I want you to have a conversation with him about this new medication that's an mRNA, and don't get that confused with the vaccine for COVID.
Right.
This has had its trials. It's a heart attack preventer, but it lowers cholesterol.
Correct, which is important.
And the target market is people with genetic high cholesterol.
So let me give you an answer for this, because you said I would hate you for it. First of all, I don't. And I'm going to use President Trump to answer this. You have a choice. Just like with the EVs, he said, let's have hybrids, let's have gasoline vehicles, let's have EVs. You have a choice. These people that are minded this way, that are in charge of what's happening with this right now, they don't want us to have a choice. They want it to be that you are not asked, you are given it and you take it, because if you are not compliant, you will not receive services. So I am really glad that you had the ability to have that, Brian. I really, truly
and the first time I started this medication in February, my cholesterol started going down, and for the first time 3 months ago, I got my blood work. The first time in over 30 years, my cholesterol is normal.
Excellent. Well, that's great.
I'm not a medical doctor, but cholesterol actually, the fatty cholesterols that are in your brain, all that, it actually helps prevent Alzheimer's and any dementia and all that.
Yeah, so, the HDL versus LDL.
Mm-hmm. And what they call a good level of cholesterol has changed over the years. Yes. So I would be very weary on cholesterol medication. I encourage you to do a little bit more research into cholesterol before you continue down that path.
This one attacks only the bad cholesterol. It doesn't go after
I don't believe
The
in
low
good and
density
bad.
lipoproteins.
I still don't believe in good and bad. I think it's all good. Your body has it for a reason.
My cholesterol was so high.
I get
I
you.
was
Don't
walking
get me
heart
wrong.
attack. So.
Like I said, not a professional. I just want to encourage you to look into it.
I love you for that.
And I'll send you some homeopathic stuff too that would help with that.
Okay.
This is
I'm
why
really big in
we need
homeopathics.
real personalized care and patient choice.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
this is what Lauren and I are fighting against, because people are not going to have choices much longer if they still do.
That's true. Absolutely. And I will never go back to the doctor for that reason.
But you have a choice. You have a choice.
I do. Well, they can't make
You know?
you go to a doctor, right?
Right.
And at that point, if they try to force me to go to a doctor,
they can.
I'll be
They
dead.
did it to me today.
I'll be dead before they do that.
I just told Shasta about it.
Look,
Yeah.
let me tell you this. If you treat yourself right, like I didn't know this beforehand, before I met my wife and we started looking into this stuff. If you treat your body right and you look into it, you can prevent a lot. You can prevent a lot. Now, if you have
okay,
let me
can you send me
hold on 1 second. I also believe that there is a reason for modern medicine. We need it. It is there. We have bypass surgeries. We have all sorts of surgeries for people that for emergency situations. I think that we're not going around the path. If you're so bad off, which I know somebody who's like that is family member of mine. He's so bad off that the homeopathic path wasn't a choice for him.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just because of his diet or his health, the weight, his physical health. That man is fit. He has taken pretty much every health precaution that he can. It just happened because of what he worked in, mostly in his life. Medical, it's there for a reason. We have the advances for a reason. I'm not doubting that one bit. If I ever need it, I pray to God it's there. But like you were saying, if we ever have this AI bullshit,
we're gonna have it.
I know. It's
Sorry.
scary enough. No, I know, but I won't be able to get the treatment that I need because they're going to go the roundabout way instead of having an actual doctor look at you and say, "Hey, yeah, you're pretty fucked right now. We're going to put you in surgery right now." Because if they do this, you're going to sit in a line just like at the VA, and it's going to take you 6 hours just for a doctor to see you, and by that point, you've had your heart attack and you're laying on the floor dead.
That's why we need to roll some of these harmful policies back. And that's why, again, I'll say it again, we need boots on the ground and people that are willing to spread this information, learn this information. And like Alan says on his shows, activate, get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but that being said, it's a lot going on in our world.
Yes.
There's ways to watch what you're doing. Just do your research. It's out there. If you look it up, say alternative ways to this. Like I'm going to go on another little rant here. Frequency between 10,000 and 30,000 hertz, they've found will obliterate cancer cells, and they won't regenerate.
Fascinating.
Yeah, they won't regenerate. It's insane, but they won't tell you about it. Why would they? They lose money off of the chemotherapy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the rub.
You know what I mean? Like I am
That's
never.
the
If
rub.
I ever get cancer, see, this is what I'm saying: is a patient lost, right?
Yeah,
More
you don't want to be
people die
subjugated.
from chemo than are safe. Why are we still doing it?
I watched my mother and father freaking die of cancer, and they had chemotherapy, and I saw how it destroyed them.
If I'll go to fucking Mexico and get sound therapy before I ever go get chemo, because it doesn't hurt.
I'd rather die a natural death
but that's what I'm saying,
get chemo.
I encourage people to do their research. I've never had cancer. I don't know what it's like. I pray to God I never get it. But for the people that have had it and want to keep going through it and want to find something else, another alternative than going through that painful ass shit where you lose most of your body mass, you lose your hair, you look like shit afterwards, your pain. I know plenty of people that have gone through this to know what it's like. I'm not going through it.
This is why under the Cancer Moonshot Initiative, And there's a whole other story to this. When they released the funding, it went to the opioid crisis, but it was really for the mRNA technology, and they wanted to learn how to use it to combat cancer. But oddly enough, the money didn't get applied to that. So there's a lot there. But look, I've had some chemo for autoimmune reasons. It is very hard on your body. It actually caused a lot of leg pain for me that resolved, thank God. It was rough.
Yeah, no, I've got a neighbor who's going through it now, and he went from looking like me to skin and bones.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
I
think the
believe
man
it.
was going to make it. I had faith he'd make it because of his attitude. And look, attitude will push you through anything. If you have the will, you can get through it. But that man is probably one of the only men that I know that had that kind of will, because he should have been dead. I'll tell you that now. He should have been gone.
Yeah.
But anywho, I'm getting called by my wife. I need to wrap this show up. So I appreciate everybody coming in the chat. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share the show out. It was a really good show. And do me a favor, subscribe so I can pay Brian.
Hey,
Every
Shasta.
little bit helps. And
Thank you for coming, hon.
Yeah, thank you once again. Thank you.
you.
We'll get your stuff. Hopefully, I can get it in a short or something. I'll get this website in, and we'll put your links to all your socials. But one more time, so that everybody knows, go ahead and push out your website and push out your socials so that everybody can follow you.
Will do.
And a special thanks to the president of Shasta's company, Lauren, for joining our chat.
Oh,
today.
absolutely. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank
we really
you, Lauren.
appreciate it.
And both of you guys, thank you for having me aboard this evening. I had a lot of fun. It was a pleasure to speak to the audience and to speak with you guys tonight. Again, our website is www.citizensinterest.org, and it is under construction. I'm working on it every day. Please give us a visit. You can sign up for free membership. It's free for everybody. And there's going to be a lot of changes coming forward in the future, a lot of information, a lot of stuff to help you wrap your head around what the hell is going on here. So I had a blast though, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
And if anybody has any questions, if you guys want to talk to me, you know where to find me. Hit me up on my website. I'll get the information. My Twitter, my X handle is Shasta with capital S _ Rain. That is spelled capital RAYNE.
All righty. Well, thanks, guys. Thank you, Brian, again for coming on. I appreciate it.
No problem. And don't
one last
forget to
time.
order your cigars and stuff.
And your women's tank tops from
And your women's tank tops.
So, yeah. And once again, it's 25% off. I've had that banner going up during the show.
Yeah,
so
I can see
everybody I appreciate everything.
All right.
And
I'm gonna drop a quick use promo code SUMMER for 30% off. I'm taking moderator privilege.
Oh, Alan's gonna. You got to go back to his basement tonight. I don't know if he's gonna appreciate this.
Well, he didn't throw any rotten produce down, so the hell with him. He's trying to starve me, man.
So, anywho, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. You just get this up real quick. Until next time, we appreciate everything, and we will see you next time.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, Shasta.
Thank you, guys.